at the American Association for Advancement of Science annual meeting, the world's largest scientific body meeting. So at the AAAS annual meeting, that is AAAS 1995, I presented my historic research paper where I suggested that all forces of nature are different states of one another. Mathematically and physically they can be converted into one another. And the historic paper I presented was listed in the physical sciences section, and here I have my name here. At that time we had a junior college. Ramananda is VIVEKANANDA Junior College, the principle of monosymmetry, the universal law of nature. We can focus on this. The day was February 19, 1995, Sunday. And the place, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. You can focus it on this. So this is the day I presented my paper on my discovery, and I took the particular reference of these three scientists who could not actually get the correct mathematics or the correct equation or a correct principle to find out what they are talking about. Now, the paper which I presented, the abstract of which is published in this book, which is the meeting proceedings of the scientific conference, the world's largest scientific conference. And I'd like to focus on the paper that is presented. It's a small abstract. Now what I did was very simple. The principle of monosymmetry which I discovered was a very simple equation. The function of dimension is equal to for many people it might sound a bit of complicated mathematics, but what I really did was, all these four different groups form different symmetry groups in the universe. So the entire physical phenomena that we are experiencing in the universe is belonging to any one of these four groups, which can convert into one another. Now, what does this represent? This particular group represents electromagnetic force. Suppose in the x dimension, you have electricity. In the x dimension, if you have electricity, in the y dimension, you have magnetism. And in the z dimension, you have weak nuclear force and motion. And in the t dimension, you have electromagnetic waves. Now, if this particular group goes on and on in its dimensional shift, it forms electromagnetic waves, which has fixed dimensions, frequency, velocity, wavelength, etc. Now, how can we produce altered electromagnetic waves, and what are they? Altered electromagnetic waves can be produced when these fixed dimensions start becoming this dimension. So what happens is, when we change the frequency, the velocity and the wavelength of those waves by using magnetism and other fields, we can produce altered electromagnetic wave which can result in gravity. Gravity and strong nuclear force is in this group. Now what will happen if gravity and strong nuclear force continues to influence matter and creates a complete compression? It produces mass. Now what happens if mass itself explodes or gets away and converts into energy? It becomes this. So this particular cycle of dimensions makes our universe possible. And this principle is called the principle of monosymmetry. And the mathematics that I am using is the mathematics that I have only discovered. Because the mathematics of dimensionship is not present in the world. I had to discover that mathematics, support it like Newton did for his own calculus to support his mechanics, and make this principle possible. Now what I am trying to tell you is, if my principle is correct, if it is able to produce altered electromagnetic waves from normal electromagnetic waves, this part of the prediction, if I am able to prove, this we already know happens in nature. This we already know happens in nature. But if I prove that this happens in nature by this altered electromagnetic waves, I will have significantly proved a prediction that I made very long time ago, way back in 1995. And this is the crux of the entire experiment. So, make suitable alteration to the electromagnetic wave through different fields and then generate that and find evidence for quantum gravity and mass. Okay.